Hi everyone. It is an absolutely beautiful day here in Edinburgh today, and I'm sitting in the park. Obviously, as you can see, I hope it's not going to be too windy. I'm trying to keep up with my videos, and I felt like this week. I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but I sometimes feel like there's certain months or weeks that carry a certain theme that tend to stick. And definitely something like I've had quite a lot the last few weeks is people have asked me, Charmaine, like, what is it that made you, like, how did you decide to like start your business, and like, weren't you scared, and like, what do you think it takes to like start a business and all that sort of stuff. And I remember a few months ago, I was in a season where I was just like having a really hard time, and I was just like, what makes me think that I'm like even worthy of like having my own business, and employing people and all this sort of stuff, and I'm not like I'm even like a good boss. And I was just having like a really crappy like season of just like being doubtful and not really sure what made me like any different, like what made me be a business owner and worthy of being a business owner. And I think it really got me started thinking. So when I got these questions from a few like just random different people, it really got me thinking, like, what is it inside of me that I was able to take that step and start my own business. And I kind of like started looking at other people and their stories, and if there's any sort of like relation there, like any correlation. And I think something that really stood out for me, or that I could relate to, was courage. And I think there's a lot of things that you do need as a business person and in business, because believe me, like, it's not a walk in the park. But I think one thing that really stood out for me was courage. And there's something I can relate to. Like, I definitely think that I have a certain amount of like natural courage, and that's certainly something that I've utilized in myself and in my personality to just, like, I just don't care. Like, I just go out and like I just do stuff. Like, I try not to let things scare me too much. And it got me thinking. I was like, where does courage come from? And like, I think definitely like a lot of us are born with just natural courage. I mean, you look at little kids, some little kids are just fearless, man. They just like run around like they don't care, and other kids are just a little bit more reserved, a little bit more cautious. But you might think that, well, if I don't have courage, like, I'm never going to be able to like change my life or have my own business. And like, I don't necessarily think that that's true either. Like, I think the good news is that I think we can learn courage, and it's that moment that we could like build our kind of like level and top up our level of courage. It's like when we're in a situation and we're like we're fearful, or we're nervous, or we're unsure of what to do. It's kind of just making that decision of doing it anyway, like doing things that scare you. I don't know if anybody's ever read that book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by, I think it's Susan Jeffers. Because that's definitely something that I, since reading that book, like tried to really implement in my life on a regular basis. Whenever I'm in a situation, I think, oh my gosh, like this is super scary, or this like makes me really nervous. Just making that decision to be like, what, this really makes me feel uncomfortable or pushes me out of my comfort zone. So therefore, I have to do it. And I think we're so scared of fear. And I think something that I learned at a workshop once that really stood out for me was when you feel fear, it means that it's something you really care about and that you really want, that means something to you. I mean, if you think about like being nervous, like if you're going out meeting a guy or a girl, or you're going out on a date or whatever, and you're like super nervous, or you're meeting somebody like really important, you're kind of like a little bit scared and nervous. That's exactly what I mean. Like, it just means that you really care about what they think about you, wanting to make a good impression, you know, it's something that really means a lot to you. So fear is a great thing, you know. It's just having that courage to take that step, to feel the fear and do it anyway. So I definitely think courage is super helpful when you want to start your own business. And if you perhaps lack a bit of courage, just remember that, you know, it's something that we can practice and we can become better and we can become more courageous. Everything takes practice, you know. Yes, just don't be scared of being scared, and like have the courage to fail. I think that's the important thing as well. Like, we're so scared of failing, and we just have to remember that, you know, everything that we do, if it doesn't work out, like, it's a lesson. And yes, sometimes we learn these lessons, and some lessons are more expensive than others. Believe me, I've had some expensive lessons. But, you know, everything is a lesson. We should take everything to create something good out of, and something better. But yes, I just kind of like, I don't know what you guys think, if this makes any sense to you. And if there's maybe anybody that does watch this, if there's any like tips you have about things that have perhaps made you more courageous. And you know, this is not just relating to starting your own business. I think courage is a really important thing that we need to have, and then we need to practice to change our lives. You know, whether it's having the courage to change your job, to perhaps go traveling on your own, to end a relationship, like all these things take a degree of courage. And I really think it's important that we practice that, and we just decide to, you know, take that step and change our life. So I hope that made sense to somebody out there. Maybe this is a message for somebody who's perhaps in a situation where you're not too sure what to do. I just encourage you to have the courage to go out and change your life. Gosh, this like natural sunlight is doing some incredible things here. But yeah, go out there, everybody, and just be courageous. Like, have the courage to go out and create the life that you want. You know, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that you have to be your own boss. Just remember that we're all given certain talents and a certain purpose, and you know, it may not be in your purpose to be an entrepreneur, to be your own boss. Maybe it's your purpose to help build someone else's business, or just to serve, or you know, whatever that is. Where, you know, that's okay. You know, just be okay with that. We don't all have to fire our bosses. But yes, I hope that's okay. I hope that's helpful for anybody. Have an awesome weekend. I'm going to go for a little walk. It is beautiful, but it's a little bit chilly still. Like, it's quite cold. I'm sitting here quite cold. But I'm going to go for a little walk. Have an awesome weekend, everybody. And I will share something new with you another day. Bye.